Let's go. We got Monday's workout coming at you tonight, and it is going to be a pretty fun one. You can thank one of your classmates for this one. If you missed the memo last week, moving forward while we were closed, we are going to allow you guys to program these workouts on Mondays. Okay, so now you have the rest of the weekend to program next Monday's workout. And how I approached it this week, we had about a half a dozen entrants. I just put everybody's name on a piece of paper and put it in a hat, drew out the name, and that's the workout we're doing. Rather than me having any bias towards any of the workouts, or a workout that I want to do versus what I don't want to do, I just put your names on a piece of paper and drew it out of the hat. So it's kind of what they call the hopper model. If you're familiar with how the CrossFit games started once upon a time, that's actually how they used to write their workouts. So they would write a movement on a ball, put it in one of those rolling hoppers, pull out the ball, 50 deadlifts. Pull out the ball, 50 burpees. How many rounds? 3 rounds. And then that's how they wrote all of their workouts that year, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And I think possibly the second year too. So that would have been a pretty interesting weekend. So that's kind of fun. Lisa dialed up a pretty good one for you today. So the workout actually, or tomorrow I should say, the workout is an 800-meter run buy-in. If you have a rower and you don't want to run, 1,000-meter row. And then you're going to have 50 sit-ups, 50 alternating dumbbell snatches, 50 burpees, 50 double unders, 50 sit-ups, and then 800-meter row or 1,000-meter, or 800-meter run or 1,000-meter row. Okay? Gonna be a doozy, gonna be a good one. So you have that buy-in and buy-out at the end, the 800-meter run, 1,000-meter row. I'm not gonna put a cap on it. She didn't have any time frames there, so I won't do that either. I would say try to keep it under probably 25 minutes. Again, kind of like our workout on Friday. Looked like a lot of you guys enjoyed that one. Pretty tough, right? Donnie, as a hero workout should be. So I'll edit in some movements here and then cut you guys loose on. Okay guys, let's talk about scaling. So the first movement and the last movement is a sit-up. For the most part, you guys should be able to handle that one, but there are some out there that I know that are not allowed to do sit-ups or can't do sit-ups. Okay, so a good scale for a sit-up, for those struggling to work on their bracing, is either to do a quadruped hold or a plank. Okay, so the quadruped hold, remember, you'll start on your hands and knees. Hands right underneath your shoulders, come up, push your knees out, knees just off the ground, and hold. Okay? Try to separate those shoulder blades, flatten that back out, and brace. Okay? Same concept with the planks. Now you extend your legs out, flatten that back out, brace and breathe. What I would hold for that is 90 seconds. So 90 seconds in the beginning and 90 seconds at the end. 50 sit-ups is probably going to take, on average, around then. For the slower side, they may be closer to 2 minutes. On the faster side, they might be a little bit faster than that. But that gives you should put you right in the middle there, okay? Next movement up is 50 alternating dumbbell snatches. So on the alternating dumbbell snatch, you have a couple of options as far as how you cycle that dumbbell, including cycling on the ground, which is, in my opinion, not my favorite, but just depends on how comfortable you are catching the dumbbell on the way down. So, taking the dumbbell up overhead, option 1 would be take it up overhead, bring it down to the shoulder, catch it on the way down, touch, back up overhead, shoulder, catch it on the way down. Okay? That gives you a point to take a breath. Okay? So you can bring it here, take a breath, and then take it back down to the ground, up overhead, breathe, breathe, back down. So it just helps you manage your heart rate a little bit better, and just makes the timing easier. Now you can cycle on the way down without stopping. So up, touch, up. So you can see that's faster. Okay, so it's not as easy to breathe through that one. With it only being 50, maybe you can get away with it. It is 50 though, so that's kind of on that line of a bigger number with a dumbbell snatch that might be pretty challenging to do unbroken. So it would be nice if you're going to try to have a breathing point. Okay. On the other side of this, you could do a kettlebell. So if you don't have a dumbbell, then I would recommend doing a hang kettlebell snatch, okay? And then don't alternate sides, all right? Well, the reason for that is when you're trying to do a dumbbell snatch from the ground, you get that start-stop, and sometimes we like to jar it. So what I mean by that is I'll take it up overhead, comes down, and then I get that slack in my arm, and then I'm going to try to rip it off the ground again. So I just lost all tension, and that's just not something that I want to see you guys do a lot of, okay? So what I would do is go from the hang, bring it up, Same concept though, you can take it from the top, right back down into that hinge, but make sure you don't lean back as you bring the kettlebell down. That's a lot of people have that tendency, okay? So bring it to the shoulder and then down. Okay, just pay attention to that flex extend, especially with the next movement, which is gonna be 50 burpees, okay? No matter what you do there, you're gonna get a little bit of flex extend in that lower back, so you're just kind of piling it on at that point. The next two movements we'll lump together because you should be pretty comfortable with these, even though they make you very uncomfortable when you do them. So you're gonna have 50 burpees, remember chest to deck, give me a little jump on top with hands overhead, doesn't have to be much, just make sure your feet get off the ground and your hands actually go overhead. Let's try to make sure that we're standing tall. A lot of us like to do this where they only come up to there. Let's not do that. Full range of motion, this is gonna be a longer workout, so just move through it, keep moving. Don't worry about the speed on these and just try to push through, okay? And then the next movement will be the 50 double unders. Your scaling option there is 100 singles if you have a jump rope. If you don't, then you can do the 50 double taps, okay? So 50 burpees, chest to deck, little jump on top, 50 doubles if you got them. Otherwise, you can scale with 100 singles or 50 double taps. There are the movement demos. Reach out if you have any questions. For the most part, you should be pretty familiar with all those movements so far. Those have kind of been our go-tos in most of our workouts throughout the weeks. Obviously, we've modified them a little bit, but you know how to do burpees, sit-ups, and the ground to overhead. Hopefully by now you should be familiar with that. Enjoy it. If you really, really like it, I'm sure Lisa would love to hear how you enjoyed that. Let's share some times. We're actually going to share this one out on Instagram as well and challenge some people that are not members at Wisco Fit to give it a shot, because it does look like a good one and I think some people will have a lot of fun with it. Okay, so thank you, Lisa, for programming the workout. Thanks to everybody else that sent one in. I'll actually save it for next week, so don't feel like you're going to lose out on that one. I'll add it back in the hat and we'll draw it out again, but that does not mean that you can't program another workout. So if you program a second one, I'll just put a 1 and 2 by your name so I know which one is which, okay? So we had some great ones come in. Keep them coming. I hope you guys have some fun with this. We'll actually have some other guest programming during the week from your coaches. And we'll see what kind of fun things they can come up with Wisco, right? Okay, enjoy the week. It looks like it's going to be beautiful weather, and hopefully I will see you sooner than later.